Hi, I'm Bill the Geek broadcasting not live from Mazatlan, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. By popular demand, we have Meredith Ann Murray in the Ajijic Chapala area, and she's going to tell us how she takes people all over Ajijic Chapala and Jocotepec and shares with them the secrets of living lakeside. Well, hello, Meredith Ann Murray. We're so happy to be with you again. How are you doing this fine afternoon?
I'm doing great, Bill. Greetings from Ajijic, Mexico on Lake Chapala.
Oh, and today I understand that you give fabulous lakeside tours. What's that all about?
Oh, shucks. Thanks, Bill. That's nice feedback. Yes, I do actually, because I love it here. And I've lived here for 2 years and 8 months or 9 months. And I've been around the area a lot. I have a nice 7-seat belt Dodge Caravan, so I can take 5 guests with me. And my minimum is 3, but I can take up to 5. I have one special tour, which is 6 or 7 hours long. We leave Ajijic in the morning about 10:30 because I have to have my walk in the morning first and my cup of coffee in the plaza to start my day right.
Uh-huh.
And we go to Jocotepec, which is one end of what they call Lakeside. Lakeside extends from Jocotepec to Chapala. It's about an 18, 20-mile long stretch. So we start off going west to Jocotepec, and we go to their beautiful Malecon, which is much larger than the one in Ajijic. And I just turned on my speakers so I don't hear that. And we walked the Malecon in Jocotepec. It's a beautiful view of the lake. It's down one end. So you're looking back down the largest lake in Mexico, 57-mile lake. And walk around there, some photo ops. There's snacks if anyone wants them. There's even vampiros and micheladas, which you know what those are living here.
The
Yeah.
do the say that again, Vimparos,
Vampiros. I think that's how you say it.
Vampieros and Micheladas. Do those
Uh,
have alcohol in them?
Those are adult beverages. Yes, my 28-year-old, my 28-year-old had to try the Vampiro when he was here, and he wanted one in those, the things you take home. They're like a big ceramic jug you can take home. So he did
Uh-huh.
that, and he liked it. Didn't ask him, what was it. We didn't know what was in it, but it has several kinds of liquor in it, I think. Yeah,
Huh.
it
Now,
was fun.
I lived in the lakeside area for several years before I even heard of Jocotepec. What do you go through town in Jocotepec?
Yeah. So after the Malecon, we go into the village, which is just a half a mile away, and we find parking. They had a huge festival the last 2 times I was there. It was their annual festival of their saints. So we had to park on the outskirts and walk back in because all the streets were closed off with Ferris wheels and children's games and booths selling everything from sexy coffee mugs with things on them and all the way to children's games and stuff. So we park in there, we walk around the plaza, have a coffee if people want one, have them do some browsing in shops. And then we walk down the street where all the food markets are. There's fish markets and meat markets and vegetable stands galore and bakeries. And it's just fun to see the bustling town of 47,000 people buying all their groceries on one street mostly. There's no like big supermarkets. There's mostly just this nice area with fruits and vegetables and real food, nothing in package, a few things in packages, but very little. And then we go to usually have lunch at Frida's, which is a wonderful Rincon de Frida, where they have lots of Frida Kahlo art and Frida Kahlo things for sale. It's a beautiful big open air pavilion building with wonderful soups and salads and Sandwiches. Their BLTs are amazing. I've talked to people who've like, I've never felt like I had to leave some BLT, some bacon on the plate. This is like a half a pound of bacon in each sandwich. It's huge.
Oh,
It's like a Dagwood sandwich. You can hardly get your mouth around it. So then we walk back through the plaza, look at the church and the beautiful murals with it's kind of the history of that area with the indigenous native culture, and then the Spaniards coming in and art and just beautiful mural display, and then the beautiful parish church. And then we drive 18 miles to the other end while I narrate along the way about the towns we're going through, San Juan Cosala and Riberas. And then we go to Chapala and we walk their Malecon and hang out there. Sometimes we're lucky enough to see the voladores. Do you know what the voladores are?
Tell us about say
Okay,
the
that's
word again, please.
voladores. It means flying men. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a ritual started, oh, what section of, I forget what part of Mexico it started in, but it's done all over Mexico now. And it's
Mm-hmm.
to symbolize the Aztec bird god. So they climb to the top of this really tall pole and they play, one of the men plays a flute. And there are women voladores now. I read an article about that recently. And then they tie the ropes around their waist and after wrapping them around the top of the pole, and then they fly down as the rope unwinds. They fly down, hanging head first from the rope on their waist, and then when they get towards the ground, they flip over and run on the ground. But it's and then they everyone claps and they collect tips because that's how they earn a living. It's just delightful. It's very magical. So and then
Oh,
there's things like pony rides and stuff. But I was just going to tell you that one family, I'd never had a child on my tour. So my friends in town had their daughter and granddaughter. So we did the Jocotepec thing. It was fun because of the festival. She could buy candy and toys. And, she loved the BLT. And we just had a fun time. But 9-year-olds get kind of bored with sightseeing. So on the way back to town, she's like, oh, I don't want to do any more. And Mom wanted her to be happy and Grandma and Grandpa, but we wanted you to see all of Chapala. And I'm like, hey, I have an idea. I could use a nap. So why don't I drop y'all at your house? You can take a swim, play with the dog, give her a break. I'll pick you up later. And that worked great. We took about 3 hours off. I picked them up. It's called Personalizing my tour. And then we did the rest of the tour and everybody was happy. She got to see the voladores and ride a pony and have ice cream and watch the sunset. So it was beautiful,
oh
beautiful day.
wow. So
We had a lot of fun.
you personalize the tours depending on who's in the tour and what they want to see, what they want to do, what they want to know.
Yeah, I have the standard tour if they don't know what they want to know, and I just show them, what I like to show them. But I had another couple who saw my first video with you, and
Hmm.
they came to town for a month, and they contacted me, and I said, well, I have a minimum of 3 people, and they said, no, no, we don't want to go. We'll just pay for 3 people. We don't want anyone else to go with us, and we're looking at moving here someday when we're able to retire. So I knew they wanted to see housing areas. So they paid for 3 people, and I took them to like up into the racket club on the way in San Juan Cosala. And instead of having lunch at Frida's, we had lunch at La Vida Bella, which is one of the beautiful spas on the hill overlooking the lake. So that was personalized. They loved it. And then I took them up into Chula Vista above the golf course in San Antonio to show them that beautiful housing area. And I drove them through La Floresta, where there are beautiful homes in in East Ajijic. So yeah, I love to personalize the tours, and they were thrilled. And they've been asking me questions on WhatsApp, and I send them lists of my favorite restaurants in the area and stuff. So yeah, I love to personalize the tours. It's fun to meet people's needs, and I have a 20-year career in real estate, so I'm used to showing people around and selling a town. Like it's
Okay.
really nice here, but now I don't have to write up the contracts and sell the houses. I just do the
Oh,
tours. Yeah.
oh, now, so most of the people that take your tours, are they from out of town, or do you have people that actually live in Ajijic Chapala and you show them around? Is it
Yep, yep. I have people who move here, new people, and a fellow I met in the plaza. I had 2 new gals and a fellow I met in the plaza do a tour with me, the 3 of them one day. So they all live here now. So when people arrive here and they don't have a car yet, and they're not really up for taking the bus, they want someone to show them and tell them where they are. The tour is a perfect way to just get oriented. It's like I've traveled the world, and like we would go to Paris or London, and we would quickly get the city tour just to get an overview. And then we
hmm
go like, oh, let's go back to that place. Let's go back to the Rodin Museum, or let's go to the Champs-Élysées or whatever. But it just gives you a nice overview. You can kind of picture where you are. And I'm going to actually start maybe dividing the tour into 2 days. Like one day we'll go to the west. We'll go to Jocotepec and have lunch at what's the name of it? The Quinta San Carlos, which is past Jocotepec, around the end of the lake. Gorgeous, huge hacienda spa hotel where they host weddings, and it's just beautiful, right on the water. So that'd be a lovely day, rather than having lunch in Joco, we'd go to Quinta San Carlos.
Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. If you know someone that this information would help, click the share button, and hey, click the subscribe button.
And then the next day or another tour would be going east, and we go to Chapala and on to Mescala. And there's a boat tour from Mescala out to an island with an old fort in ruins on it, where I think from the early 1800s. And I have yet to do that. So when my friends are here from Washington State next week, I'm going to do the scouting tour and go. I've been to Mescala, but not out to the island yet. So that's going to be an add-on that I'll probably create another tour there.
We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Click the subscribe button so you get a notification. Okay, yeah, I've been there. I've done that. It's a fabulous trip, and yes,
Good.
and gosh, there's just a wealth of information. All of Meredith's contact information is in the description below. She's fabulous to be with, and Meredith, I want to thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.
Okay, you
Adios.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye.